Hello everyone, welcome back to more AEW and TEW 2020. We are here on the Rampage of the third week of June. Second show of the week. Well, second episode of the in-game week. I have no idea when I upload these things. But anyways, we start off with the opening match as Adam Cole defeats Chuck Taylor. Good opening match, and afterwards he takes a seat in the middle of the ring. There's a little bit of an awkward silence. You know, people are like, why is he just sitting there? Is something supposed to happen? But eventually, Hiromu Takahashi's music plays, and the former member of the New Japan roster, he steps out, and he's just kind of waiting there. He's probably just still got his jacket on, his really colorful jacket. And Adam Cole, he has a mic, and he's just still sitting there, very calmly speaking. He says, "I'm glad you actually decided to come out here, Hiromu. See, we have a lot of things to discuss, and Gimmick Infringement is definitely one of them. You remember a few weeks back when you tried to do my thing, the boom? Yeah, again, that's my thing, and I don't like being disrespected like this. And you know who else disrespected me that's still here? The Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody, all of the people back there that, bear in mind, killed me. So guess what, Taka? You've now got my wrath coming down on you too." And right as he finishes the promo, Bruiser Sheridan and Joey Janela rush out from backstage. They beat down Takahashi. Cole, he just gets up, he's laughing, he's enjoying this as he walks off, the two members of the cult beating down Takahashi. After this, we see a vignette showing a flowery landscape. It's a surprisingly peaceful scene to see in a wrestling show, and it's eventually revealed why. Now, it doesn't take too long. Riho is seen underneath a cherry tree, seemingly meditating, and it's a little bit too late for the cherry blossoms. I fucking love cherry blossoms, honestly. They're amazing. And there's shots of her preparing herself physically and mentally that are interspersed with Christopher Daniels sort of doing like a sit-down interview. Daniel, he's mostly being moved to like a backstage staff role, essentially. So he's kind of just talking as the head of talent relations. So since AEW was founded, we knew that Japan had a wealth of female talent. And there's a reason that our first ever women's champion was Riho. And the reason that all but one of our champions have originated in Joshi Promotions, that's because over there, it's just such a good sport. But even in all of this, Riho has fallen to the wayside. New top talents have come in. People like Kairi Hojo, Kana, Mayu Iwatani, Io Shirai, they've all come in, and it seems like the first ever AEW Women's Champion is just going to fade into the background. But I know this, that's just not who Riho is. She's a fighter, and I know more than anyone just how hard she works. So, she's going to be back. Going to be better than ever. Just you wait, fans. AEW will see Riho return again. The cherry blossom will be her gimmick. Small boosted microphone. Shame that she'll never do anything in microphone. Because she's awful at mic. Like 35 rating, one of the lowest ratings in the entire company. After this, we're preparing for another match, and Jade Cargill, she's had her entrance, and eventually there's a little bit of quiet. Shotzi's music isn't playing, but then after that, Ashley Flair's music actually then starts to play. She's accompanied to the ring by her court. One of them is carrying Mike, probably. I think it's usually Lydia that, it's been a while since I've recorded anything with the Queen's Court. I think Lydia's kind of usually the one who's doing all the menial labor. And Ashley Flair says, "I've seen a lot of things in my time in pro wrestling, but I'll admit, I've never seen anyone be as dumb as you, Jade Cargill. You've defied the Queen. You've gone out and ambushed wrestling royalty. Who do you even think you are? And I wasn't just going to wait to get my hands on you. I decided to get going early. And like all things in my life, it came easily to me. Shotzi was easily paid. Heyman will be easy to convince to let this match change in you, you'll be easy to beat. And just as she says, she does actually beat Jade Cargill. I mean, you're not gonna have Charlotte lose to someone like Jade Cargill this early on, and, well, I mean, and this early on into Cargill's career, Charlotte's gonna be good eventually for kind of bringing people up. Sort of you gain popularity by being in a program with, or by losing a program with Ashley Flair. After the match, Ashley Flair is prepared to do a lot of gloating over Jade Cargill, but she's stopped by Nancy Bouchard, who quickly gets face-to-face with Flair. Because of the height difference, because Charlotte's incredibly tall for a girl, as well as how relatively unknown Bouchard is, Flair is I'm good at talking, is unfazed by the approach. Queen's Court soon come over and take down Bouchard before a full brawl ensues between the three members of the court and the three still up members of the Boss Bitches. As this happens, security's coming in there trying to stop everything. Flair just kind of leaves. She showed that she's still the royalty. She still took everyone down. Also, one thing that I'm really not liking is I'm pretty sure that projected was like 7,000 and we're at 5,000, but I could be wrong. After this, a quick recap plays of Andrew Everett's attacks on Team Taz before a promo plays with Taz himself talking and Team Taz there. He says, "So Andrew Everett, son of Andre the Giant, huh? Well, I've heard a lot about people being Andre's kid, but I feel like you ain't one of them. Call yourself a giant all you want, it doesn't change the fact that you and me are on the same playing field. Go and run your mouth all you want. Next time you want to try and mess with Team Taz, oh, you're gonna know why we're machines, why we're monsters, why we are absolute." And Ricky Starks was supposed to be on screen. He was not. He was also supposed to be rated on like Cage and Kyle. I think we're unrated. Fantastic. After this, I just wanted a really good match, so I just had the Young Bucks go out there. Hobbs and Willie Mack, they were very good performance. Not great in terms of pop. Something I really need to work on, but they're good. Also, Remy Sabay and Kevin Steen were on commentary. Got that. And after that, they grab a mic, and Kevin is the main one to speak with this following promo. And he says, "Well, I thought about what you asked a few weeks ago about all the Mount Rushmore stuff. Well, the answer's still no. I mean, look at where we are in our careers to this point. You two are one of the best tag teams that the world has ever seen. You've won Tag Team of the Year so many times, and me? Well, let's just say that my career's gone a little bit differently. Instead of becoming one of the best tag team wrestlers of all time, I've become one of the best wrestlers of all time. I've become one of the best single stars in all of pro wrestling. I have multiple major championships in my resume, and, well, Rami's not got much different. So, honestly, if you think about it, me joining back up with Mount Rushmore, me and Rami joining up with you, that only would tank my career, would tank his career, it would bring us down." Yeah, Matt, Nick, the answer is no, and that answer is not going to change. I have not wanted to have Kevin Steen be in too many matches, just because he's got a minor injury that he's working through, and I just rather not get the injury hit. After this, we're seeing a scene of Hikaru Shida and Lavender Sky entering a meeting room with Paul Heyman adjudicating for them. I just wanted to use the word adjudicating. There's a few other wrestlers nearby, security staff, backstage personnel, whatever, making sure a fight doesn't break out. And again, Heyman, he's just overseeing this. This is a contract signing, but backstage. And there's a generally cordial manner between Shida and Sky. Both of them very much, they love the sport of pro wrestling. They love getting into the fights. They want to fight for that championship. They want to bring prestige to the title. And while they respect each other, they're not going to go easy. Neither of them are. She just says that she's a fighting champion. She's not, anytime that she isn't fighting, she has a lot to lose. I mean, she lost her championship before, and she just didn't get too many matches. Now she wants to show that, hey, I'm still really good. I still can put on great matches. So I'm going to show that time and time again. So I'm not just going to let things wait. So basically, TBS title, not quite to the extent of early series, like open challenges every single week, but I'll try to have the TBS title get fought for a decent bit, and that'll start with next week. That's it. This is definitely not main event material yet. Lavender's good, but she is still a rookie, so yeah. After this, Wardlow defeats Jake Hager. What was it? Cody was on the mic, and I don't think Griffin's supposed to be off screen there, I think. Cody gets up in commentary and he commends Wardlow for how good he did in the match, but his words soon turn away from the pure compliments. As much as I want everyone in this company to succeed, there's something that always needs to happen when it comes to things like this. Both you and Griffin are good candidates for me to take me on for the US title, and I'm sure it's no coincidence that MJF recruited both of you to be his bodyguards. And I get it. Both of you are people who embody that American dream of clawing up from nothing, from being a relative unknown in pro wrestling to now having a shot at at a title to represent that very dream. But we still have to find out which one of you will get the chance to face me. So, next week, I'll make sure to get it right in there and find out. Wardlow, Griffin Slade, I know you two will have your real #1 contenders match next week, and I'll be the special guest referee for that. I hope you're on your best game, Wardlow, and Griffin, when you watch this, I hope you're on your best game too. So Cody as a special guest referee, something I need to do a little bit more often, I think. After this, we see Adam Page sitting at a bar. He has, since he's reformed, since he's become champion, he's been doing less drinking alcohol and more drinking water. Darby Allin. Back on Wednesday, I got the chance to see you in the ring. And let's face it, when you think of AEW, you really do think of both of us. But there's something I do need to tell you, and I'll give you a compliment first. Having Sting support you is a great start. He's an absolute legend of the business, one of the best to ever do it, and no one needs me to tell them that. Here's what you need to know, Darby. Winning a world title isn't all it's cracked up to be. It's not just go in and win a single match and you're fine. There's a lot that goes into that mindset. You really haven't gotten that mindset yet. You haven't won anything big yet. You haven't climbed that ladder from having the world title, from ever having a title at all. It's a difficult task. And I don't want you to get caught in over your head when we go against each other on the 4th of July Dynamite. I want you to be at your best. Sting, I want you to make sure that Darby can be at his best. Both the Rampage and the Dynamite for the first week of July will be probably vaguely 4th of July themed. They're not going to be special Dynamites where I throw out every single title in there. But, yeah. And in our main event, MJF defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. 96 rating for MJF. My god, he's great. Nakamura pretty weak. MJF, who is without Griffin Slade, ignore any notes that say that Griffin Slade is there. He's probably patting, well, obviously metaphorically patting himself on the back over the win over, in his own words, the washed up has-been in Shinsuke Nakamura. As he does, however, some unfamiliar music plays, and MJF just he's not surprised by it. He just looks more disappointed than anything. He's like, oh great, they're bringing in another person to come and try to take my spot. But no, it's just CJ Perry's music. She comes out, she says that, MJF, he's, the hot shot of pro wrestling. He's one of the most popular wrestlers in the world, which is true. I believe in game he's ranked 6th in America for pop. So pretty good. And he's this young wonderkind, but he's not going to be able to stop Miro, who's determined to show everyone that he's a changed man. And as soon as she finishes her little promo, I'm just like, yeah, keep talking, whatever. Miro slides in from probably random through the crowd, beats down MJF. Maybe there's some cheers. I don't know. MJF hasn't really done anything too douchey in a little bit. And Miro stands tall. Show ends. We get a 79 rating. Okay, so that's pretty normal. I think 79 is kind of where we're normally at. I also had a bunch of pre-show matches just to get people without much experience some experience, but it didn't really matter all too much. Pretty good show as we move on to our show of Dynamite and Dark for the next episode.